Jim, you're their leader. Your job is to inspire hope.
Perhaps I can't change anything.
We will not run from the battle. Go show those bastards who we are.
Michael, welcome to the Awards Tour podcast.
Thank you.
I'm so excited to talk to you this year. I was kind of joking about it before, but you've had an incredible year and already. But I want to talk about the thing that's coming up next, and that's your work in Nuremberg, which I got to see at the Toronto International Film Festival. Nice. And it's not the first time you've played a historical figure, but this one I think in particular is different because it's told through the eyes of this psychologist, and you sort of are supporting that grand story, but it also dives into the Nuremberg trials. Talk about how you got involved in it.
Oh gosh, they just sent me the script. Jamie reached out to me, Jamie Vanderbilt, who wrote and directed it, and I read the script and I read the book that it's based on, The Nazi and the Psychiatrist, which is a fascinating book. About an army psychiatrist who's sent to keep an eye on the Nazi prisoners and make sure they, A, don't kill themselves, and B, kind of get a glimpse into what makes them tick. And and then Jamie decided to combine that story with the story of the trials themselves. Yeah.
And one thing I thought was interesting about it, you talked about the fact that this was a chance where you got to play somebody heroic, which is not something that you kind of often get to do. And it's not like you play a hero, you just kind of play him as a normal person. But was that something different with this? Did it feel different playing this a little bit different than what you've normally been cast in?
Oh, well, I think one of the keys to being worth the damn at acting is to treat every character as if they're their own individual person. Otherwise, you're kind of missing the point.
Fair.
So I admired Mr. Jackson a great deal. I didn't know much about him before I did the project. Unfortunately, it's not a name that's as commonly known about in the collective consciousness, but he's somebody that I think a lot of people should know more about. So it was a real honor to get to learn more about him and to try and embody him. But I think he was, my impression is he's a very matter-of-fact guy. He just, for him, he was doing his job, and he was very focused on what he was doing. There wasn't a lot of tangential nonsense with him. He picked a task and he followed it through to the end.
Yeah. It's funny that you mentioned that because another project that you have that's coming up, Death by Lightning, I think your portrayal of Garfield is also very similar. He's a man who was diligent and just forthwith and just really seemed to be, I hate to say a working man's politician, but that's what he felt like when I was watching you portray him. And I think that's interesting because he's another sort of like footnote in history, mostly about his death, not about his life. So.
Right. Yeah, I heard he was referred to as the greatest president we never had, which is unfortunate because I do think had he not died, he would have gone down as one of the greatest presidents in history if he was able to carry out what he was thinking about doing, But I think that the thing that Garfield and Jackson have in common is they don't look at their position as a position of power where they can just make everybody do what they want them to do. They consider what they do an act of service and consider them, the term is civil servant. And they both embodied both of those terms. They were very civil and they were servants. I miss those kind of people.
That was literally what I was thinking when I was watching it, as I was just like, people that were about principle and looking forward. There's an early scene that you have with it where the Republicans at that time were very much supported by the black vote, and he was like, I don't want to win if it's not with you guys. And like that kind of like political loyalty is fictitious, I think, in modern society. So it's so great to see that on screen.
Well, something I learned in my research is that the Department of Education, which is now being dismantled, was Garfield's idea.
Yeah.
Because he believed in order to have a free and equal society, everyone had to have an education. And he met a lot of resistance, very much like when Robert Jackson suggested that there be a Nuremberg trial, he met a lot of resistance. But he went ahead and followed through on it anyway. So, neither one of them are saints or angels or anything like that. I don't know every nook and cranny of their existence, but the legacy that you see in these two projects is pretty moving to me, anyway.
Yeah, and I really also love Death by Lightning. It's the story of really two men who are brought together by this terrible act, obviously Garfield's assassination, but Matthew McFadden is on the other side, and he is disorganized, he's a crony, he's ambitious and narcissistic and just everything against it. But what I loved about what sort of sets the men apart is you look at the women next to them. And like what Betty and you and your dynamic, I feel like it sort of like further explains why these two men are so different. I loved every scene with you two together.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, Betty is just, I really had such a blast working with her. She, because their relationship, James and Crete, was a very rich relationship and a very equal relationship. But, you know, in filmmaking, storytelling, a lot of times it's just reflexive. It's not right, but a lot of times the female gets kind of relegated to a lesser status, but Betty just comes in and she has such authority and intelligence with what she's doing that you can't keep her down. You know?
No, I would actually say that everything about women of the Gilded Age was meant to cage them and sort of like keep them in like a pedestal, literally like a gilded cage, right? Yeah. And everything that she did on screen, I felt was like banging against that. Like she was literally fighting against that. And I really did dig her. I'm not done with it yet. I'm only like 2 episodes in, so give me a bit. You had a lot of stuff. Like I also watched Eric Larue.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
I try. I knew you were coming here. I was really excited to talk to you. You're one of my all-time favorite actors, and
really?
I haven't even talked to you because of your work with Jeff, because he's one of my all-time favorite directors, and you're like the best part of everything that he does. But the thing I wanted to talk about Eric Larue, because it's another one of these. I know you made it a little while ago, but it's coming out now. But again, it's so prescient because it talks about gun violence, but the unseen aspect of it, and that is the victims within the communities that people don't necessarily see. And I love that you got Judy Greer as your lead character, because I counted it. Judy Greer has over 180 credits on IMDb.
No way.
And I think your film may be the first one that's given her like a real lead like this. Talk about your choice to cast her, because of course she's great, 180 credits. This is not an accident. No. But what made you think that she would be great for your lead actress?
I had done a couple of projects with Judy, just acting with her. We did a fun little holiday movie called Pottersville, and we did an episode of Room 104 together, this show that was on HBO. And
very well remember 104, yeah.
Yeah, I love that show. It was such I never understood why they canceled it. It was like
great anthology,
Yeah, but anyway, I just always adored working with her, and again, but much like Betty, just thought she was so smart, and even on something that's a comedy, still very conscientious of so many different things when she's working. And I knew I wanted somebody in that part that I didn't want somebody who was necessarily had a lot of opportunities to be, quote unquote dramatic. Somebody that you would expect in that part. I wanted somebody who was just kind of like a fish out of water, because I feel like that's the situation that character's in. And so, but what I was even shocked by was just how much depth Judy brought to the part. And I agree, I don't think people have gotten an opportunity to see that, but there's a huge reservoir there, yeah.
And the thing I loved about it is because you put her in this moment where she's a mother whose son committed an act of school violence and then killed himself. So she's grieving the death of her son while also being like ostracized from her community. Mm-hmm. And the thing I thought was interesting about it is the character that we meet in it is if all the characters that Judy normally plays in comedies, if this happened to them, this is how they would look afterwards. Like the light had been dimmed. You could tell that she used to be such a vibrant person, and the events sort of dimmed her light. Also, you managed to make Alexander Skarsgård not hot, which I think is a trick of the camera, but you did it.
The goatee was his idea. he showed up with it, and we had a little talk about it, and he said, "What do you think?" I'm like, "Well, I like." He's like, "Yeah, I think it's," and it wound up actually being very, very smart on his part, I think, because the character he's playing is kind of like a little boy trying to be a man, and so of course he would have a goatee.
And like a little.
That's what most men who have goatees are trying to be men. Yeah. And I've had goatees myself, so I'm speaking from experience.
You could do a good beard. I've seen you in Bike Riders. You're there. You were there.
God, I was a mess in Bike Riders.
That brings me to, like I was saying, I was alluding to it. I love Jeff Nichols' movies. I've loved it since Shotgun Stories and what you guys were able to sort of do with that. Is there a conversation you have with him before Eric Larue where you call him up? Or do you call any of the incredible directors that you've worked with before you do that? Or do you kind of keep it to yourself?
Well, Jeff was an executive producer on the film, so he wanted to reach out, but I didn't really find too much to talk about. I kind of went off my own instincts about it, because much like what I said about acting earlier, I think every film is very different, and I wasn't really aiming to make. What I was really interested in doing was making a film that you hadn't seen before. So, to that extent, there was a director who I'm close friends with, I've worked with, who said, what you do is you get together with your DP and you sit and you watch other movies and you say, now you see that scene in that movie? I like the way that looks. Or what if we try to do something? And I was like, I don't understand why I would do that. Like, I don't want to make a movie that looks like another movie. I want to make a movie that looks like this movie. So I didn't solicit too much advice from anybody.
That's why you're a real one. I appreciate that, actually. Not to bring it back with the sort of Jeff aspect of it, but of all the things that you've done together, which one to you is the one that you sort of like hold closest to the vest? I know they're individuals, but like, is there one?
Well, Take Shelter. Yeah, that's my, and I'm very fond of all of them, but Take Shelter's the favorite for me, yeah.
What's particularly special about that one for you?
The story really hit close to home for me. I mean, being a father in this world that's so crazy, and knowing that your children might have to face things that you really don't want them to have to deal with, and you're not sure how to keep it from happening or protect them from it. That's, I don't know, something that's close to my own experience.
Well, I think you're very, although I don't want to talk about it because I think you keep your family and your stuff very private, but I will say, when I saw you at the Met Gala with your daughter, I was like, that is a dad showing up for the daughter. Because no offense, I don't want to like think I know you or whatever. I don't think that's what you were signing up for every Tuesday is to go to the Met Gala. But for your daughter, you were like, I will put on a suit and we will do this. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, she got a kick out of that. But some people, they frown on that a little bit. They're like, oh, you don't want people seeing your children or, mixing. But, we live in New York City, and it's, you can't hide, really.
Did she have fun? I'm just like, I'm excited about you having like dad, like that is the best daddy-daughter dance ever. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, can I be your daughter? Like, you took your daughter to the Met Gala. That's so cool.
Yeah, we saw Jean-Baptiste played a special little show. It was in this little tiny room. It was so amazing to be. And then Sofia Coppola came up and said hi. So she had a ball.
I love it. I want to bring it back to the films. I feel I've forgotten half the films that you've been in comparative to the stuff that you've done. I'm not even remotely joking. Because I forgot, and so I was getting ready for this interview, Bad Boys 2. I'm not even, I ain't no snitch, man. I ain't no snitch. That, for the culture, that would get you a free pass. Like, forget 8 Mile, that one right there. Anything you can tell me from the Bad Boys 2 set? I just think that'd be kind of fun.
It was a lot of fun. I had never shot in Miami before, so it's really cool to be down in Miami. And it was really cool to be on set with Will and Martin. I mean, they're just so, they're superstars, and they're so funny, and they have so much fun doing what they're doing. So it's kind of contagious that way. But I think the highlight, frankly, of doing Bad Boys 2 for me was getting to meet Henry Rollins.
Oh, wow,
Yeah, because we spent one night shooting the opening that's out in the swamp. That was an all-night thing out, and we were literally in a swamp. And yeah, I was just sitting next to Henry Rollins, literally in like the mud. There weren't even chairs. We were just like sitting in the mud, and he was telling me stories about his career. And yeah, I'll never forget that.
I mean, yeah, you're not just like, I think somebody who's thoughtful about music and enjoys music, but you're also a musician yourself and your band.
I give it a try, yeah, sometimes.
I'm sorry, I looked at your videos for the R.E.M. of it all.
Oh, yeah?
I was very impressed. I
Oh,
was
thank
like,
you.
how have they not cast you in a musical already?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
But I'll just keep it short with it, because I also saw a video where you don't like talking about it, but favorite R.E.M. song to sing and one you want to take out of the playlist?
God, it's so hard to pick a favorite.
I mean, you
I
can give a
really
couple.
love all of them. I like playing the old ones that a lot of people, that only that real diehard fans know about.
Okay.
Like there's a song we've been playing called Bandwagon that's not a lot of people know about. There's a song called Romance that was never even on any of their records. It was only a song that they made for a movie that literally one member of the band didn't even remember that they had recorded it. So it's fun to play the more obscure stuff.
Before we get out of here, I definitely want to talk about your stage work, because I know back in Kentucky, that's where you started on the stage, and I really love, even though you make huge movies like Knives Out and Man of Steel, you still go back to the theater, and you are, London, Moon for the Misbegotten. I wasn't in London, I got nothing. Tell folks though about this one, and also why you continue to want to be back on the stage.
Oh, well, yeah, I did a play this summer, Moon for the Misbegotten by Eugene O'Neill at the Almeida Theatre in London. I was opposite of Ruth Wilson, who's an incredible actress, and I had done Long Day's Journey into Night, also by Eugene O'Neill. I played Jamie Tyrone Jr. in that, and Jamie, the same character as in Moon for the Misbegotten, so it was a kind of a rare opportunity to follow the same character from one play to another. I just love this character so much, based on Eugene O'Neill's actual brother, James O'Neill. Yeah, I love doing theater because nobody else can mess with it. Like when you do TV or movies or whatever, you go in, you give what you have to give on that particular day, and then it's endlessly manipulated and messed with by people sometimes that you never even meet. So, but when I go out on stage and do a play, the audience is seeing what I choose for them to see, whether for better or worse. So it's just a more democratic kind of situation, I think. Yeah.
Well, with all those filmographies, you've got to get out of here. And I will just say, it's criminal to me that you haven't gotten an Academy Award for anything that you've done already, but I would give you one for just what you did for Funny or Die. Whenever I'm having a bad day, I pull that up. Yeah, it's like kind of a dopamine hit. And I know that you're like, I've done so many other things, but
No, it's okay.
I'm sorry, I love it. It's one of the best line reads in the history of the world. Thank you
Well,
so
the
much.
person you have to thank for that is in this room right now.
Who?
My publicist, Brenna Rifkin.
Oh, she made you do it.
She didn't make me, but I came out to do press. I think it was for the Iceman, right, Brenna? Yeah, I came out to do press for the Iceman, and I was riding in a car with Brenna, and she said, "Hey, Funny or Die called. They have this. Have you heard about this sorority-letter?" And I was like, "Yeah, I guess a little. I mean, it's everywhere. You can't not hear about it." She's like, "Well, they want you to read it." And you don't even have to memorize it. They'll just all be on cue cards. You want to just go over there and give it a shot? And I was like, yeah, okay. So, yeah, Brenna Rifkin. Yeah, the world should thank her for that.
Bless you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you. And for all that you do, but really, thank you.
Yeah.
If I leave this earth, it's because they took that video off the internet. So thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. And everyone, you can check out Michael's projects, whether it be Death by Lightning, Nuremberg, everything. Thank you so much, sir.
Thanks.